failed marriage. It's not such a bad track record.
One failed marriage and many failed relationships. Three of them were clarinet players. And how about the fact that you was with a guy for 2 years and didn't know he was a junkie?
I thought he was a chemist. And
Sally Field has been looking for love in all the wrong places, but she finds Michael Caine in Surrender. That's a new romantic comedy and one of 5 films we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. Now, we've said, both of us on this show more than once, that Michael Caine hardly ever seems to give a bad performance even when he's in a bad movie. And that theory is proven true once again with Surrender, where Caine and Sally Field give good performances, but it isn't a bad movie. The strange thing about this movie, though, is that it's not all bad. It starts out very funny. I was really laughing half an hour into this movie. I thought I was looking at a great comedy, and then it loses steam about halfway through. It's like they ran out of ideas. The movie stars Caine as a rich, best-selling author who hates women because all of his ex-wives and even a girlfriend have taken him to the cleaners. Here he tells his lawyer, Peter Boyle, he's moving to a country where the women are powerless.
Why the hell Kuwait?
Because women can't vote there, and they flog them.
But then he meets Sally Field when they are tied up together naked during the robbery of a charity benefit. And he falls in love with her that strange evening.
Do you think it's a stupid idea to make love before we go out and eat? No, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm so jittery. See, I got awfully turned on when I was tied up with you last night. Our skins welded together every curve and
I remember how it felt.
I worry that I'm so jittery, I won't be able to eat until I've had...
Look, I don't make love before the first date.
Even though it's love, Caine takes no chances. He pretends he's a poor man. He conceals his wealth from her, and still he wants a prenuptial agreement.
What do you think of prenuptial agreements?
Well, I think they're kind of unromantic.
Then everything changes when Field wins $2 million from the Reno slot machines, and now she doesn't want to share her wealth with him.
This is wonderful, Dave. It's like a double miracle. You've won all this money, and I've decided we don't need a prenuptial agreement.
What?
It's incredible. I was up on the mountains, and I had this fantastic religious experience. I saw this lonely old wolf, and he spoke to me. And you know what he said? Share everything.
An old wolf told you to take half my money?
Well, like I said, I like the opening scenes of this movie, especially the one where Caine and Field try to introduce themselves to each other after robbers have tied them together naked in that closet trying to shake hands. A little strange. I like the whole exaggeration of the Caine character and how much he hates women and the way that Sally Field got around all of that. But what I didn't like was when the movie went wild with all the extra ingredients in the second half, like that multi-million-dollar jackpot and Field's former boyfriend being kidnapped in the Middle East, and on and on and on. The movie started strong, but then it seemed to lose its way. The last half seemed to be like a fire sale of old comic ideas.
Yeah, this is very surprising because it did start out as a winning picture, and then when she won the lottery, we lost the movie. They lost the script. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they felt they had to do that. Maybe they went into this production with the script half written. It's just a half-baked movie.
They didn't think that the key to a comedy is character, and they had two great characters and two great character personalities that could have conflicted for the whole way without having to go on the road with all of those other locations and all of those strange situations.
Sally Field did it with James Garner, and she could have done it with him.
Sure.
Our next film is a very tricky, cleverly written thriller by Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright David Mamet, who has been writing a lot lately about sleazy, gritty characters, and he does so again in House of Games, the story of a woman psychiatrist who's written a best-selling book, but she's looking for a little excitement in her life, and she gets caught up with a bunch of professional hucksters, guys who set up scams playing on other people's greed. Here, the shrink helps out a con man in a poker game.
You can help me out here.
Yes.
You keep looking for the tell. He plays with his ring. I'm gonna gut that sucker.
That's Joe Mantegna as her partner, and she quickly becomes drawn to his direct, dangerous manner.
Do you want to make love with me?
Excuse me?
Because you're blushing. That's a tell. The things we think, the things we want. We could do them or not do them, but we can't hide them.
What is it you think I want?
I'll tell you. Somebody to come along Somebody to possess you. To take you into a new thing. Would you like that? Do you want that?
Yes.
That's a fabulously written sequence. The story has lots of twists and turns on the psychiatrist and on us.
Yes.
Eventually, she turns on her lover when he has fooled her once too often.
Sit down, please.
I'd love to, but
I said to sit down.
What are you going to do, go to the cops?
I may.
And tell him what? What are you going to tell him, stud? That the author of the best-selling Driven, A Guide to Compulsive Behavior, gave her fortune away to some con man? You see my point? But we've had fun. You must say that.
That's Lindsay Krause as the psychiatrist, and she is very good here because she does an excellent job of convincing us that she's a practicing psychiatrist, and she also has this hidden secret part of her that needs help too, and she manages to handle both elements of that character. Now, I can't give any of this story away, except I want to tell you this story, that while I watched this movie in a screening room, not a theater, I found myself talking out loud to the screen. There was someone else in the room, but they didn't mind, I hope. I kept second-guessing the film because I thought there were mistakes being made here, and I was shouting out like a smart guy. Well, I guessed wrong virtually every time, much to my delight. This movie surprised me. This is the kind of movie I like because I like movies about people living on the edge. I also like movies I can't predict. I liked every single performance in the film, particularly the two leads, Lindsay Krause and Joe Mantegna, and of course, the writing and first directing job by David Mamet, who is really something special.
Well, I was that other person in the screening room, and you kept saying, "Oh, that's not how you would play poker. They would never do that in a poker game." And then later on, I was shouting out to you, "You see, it did make sense. Yeah, you're right. It was amazing."
You guessed wrong sometimes too.
I guessed right more often than you did because, well, I can't tell you why, but I know that I did. But in any event, I like this movie more than you did. I think
it's not possible.
I think this is one of the 10 best movies of the year. It is an incredibly impressive film. Mm-hmm. It is funny. Mm-hmm. It is clever. Mm-hmm. It is intriguing. It is well acted. Mm-hmm. It is smart. Yes. It makes us think about the characters. It's intelligent, and it looks great. Yeah. I mean, I am amazed. It is a great directing debut, not to mention a great job of writing, a great job of acting, and it absolutely had me absorbed from beginning to end.
That's all I'm saying. I'm talking to the screen. I don't do that. Usually I'm yelling at the screen. I mean, this thing got me going. Mm-hmm. This is like The Sting for adults.
Yes, that's a good one.
And with adults in it, adult characters. Coming up next on Siskel and Ebert, Tom Berenger is a cop assigned to guard a rich society woman in Someone to Watch Over Me.
And you live in Queens with a child and a dog?
No, no dog.
Our next movie is named Someone to Watch Over Me, and it stars Tom Berenger, who played the tough squadron leader with a scarred face in Platoon. This time he's a New York cop assigned to the night shift as a bodyguard for a beautiful socialite played by Mimi Rogers. The movie opens with a brutal killing which Rogers witnesses, and that means she needs protection. And that doesn't go over so well with Berenger's wife, played in a very good performance by Lorraine Bracco. They were childhood sweethearts who've been married for years, but she still gets jealous.
I read this article. You didn't tell me she was so beautiful.
Actually, she's better looking than that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, inevitably, Berenger and Rogers fall in love. He's never met anyone quite like this nice, rich lady.
I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Okay?
Then there's trouble on the domestic front as Berenger's wife suspects that he's having an affair.
Well, what is this? Is it serious? Quit looking at me like that. What's with this ridiculous silence?
Now, you'd think that sort of romantic triangle would be steamy and passionate, but Someone to Watch Over Me drags along and the characters talk too much, and most of the action scenes are pretty predictable. The most interesting character in the movie is Berenger's wife, played by Lorraine Bracco, as I said. She has a feisty personality. She fights for her man. She fights for her self-respect. The fact that she tries to hold her family together in the middle of this situation is, to me, the real heart of the movie, and not all of this fancy downtown socialite glamour kind of stuff. The trouble with the affair between Berenger and Rogers is that the movie can never decide whether the tough cop and the sophisticated socialite are attracted to each other as individuals or as intriguing curiosities. We never get to know them well enough to know what they really think.
That's the central problem. Those two characters are not well written at all. They are just, he's a new detective. He's sort of thick of the streets. I didn't believe Tom Berenger, who is a good actor. I never believed him in that character, certainly not after seeing him act in Platoon. And the woman playing the socialite,
Mimi Rogers,
a total boring character. I mean, not exciting, frankly. I didn't find her at all. I don't know why he would jeopardize his relationship with his wife. It's just pro forma acting. I think the movie should have taken another direction and surprised us rather than give us a relationship. Have the wife fight with her husband and really fight and maybe win.
What you have
Wouldn't that be exciting?
What you have here with the detective and the socialite is formula.
Yes.
That was probably the one that sold him in Hollywood.
Yes.
Hey, this is great. The tough cop meets the socialite.
Yeah.
We'll get Mimi Rogers and Tom Berenger. Then somebody came along to write this wonderful marketing idea and created a brilliant character in the wife.
Yeah.
Somebody should have seen that it's always specific character that makes a movie good, not somebody's brainy box office formula.
Well, I think that what happened is this Lorraine Bracco turns out to be quite a movie actress.
That probably helps.
She just steals the movie, and they should have recut the film to feature her. Coming up next on Siskel and Ebert, the great dancer Mikhail Baryshnikov in a story that mixes ballet and love and heartbreak in the real world. The movie is called Dancers.
When you hold it out, it's not a bunch of twigs prop man gave you. It means remember.
Our next film is called Dancers, and it's a crushing bore, even though it stars Mikhail Baryshnikov in a film directed by Herbert Ross, who a decade ago also made the fine ballet film The Turning Point. But this story doesn't have characters like the ones played in The Turning Point by Shirley MacLaine or Anne Bancroft. It just has a dull character played by Baryshnikov and not enough of him dancing. The story involves his staging of a performance of the ballet Giselle, and it takes the story to heart as he chases a young beauty on stage and off. The ballet is being staged in Italy, where Baryshnikov, playing the star of the troupe, notices a beautiful, innocent American girl while he is being interviewed by a reporter.
This role you're dancing, Albert, I think it's a villain, a cad. How do you make him sympathetic?
I don't see Albert as a bad man. It's tragic. He does not understand true love until it's too late.
Is that what happens in your life, too?
Oi.
Of course, what we've all come to see here is Baryshnikov dance, not talk. Here he is in a brief rehearsal scene. Of course, that's exciting, but the story is just plain silly. The writing juvenile, especially when the girl says goodbye.
Made me cry.
Sorry.
No, I mean when you danced just now. You were wonderful.
I didn't want to talk about that ballet. Listen, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that you...
I'm not.
That's pretty weak dialogue. Now, I'm a film critic and not a dance critic, but I've managed to like a lot of dance films. And this one just doesn't cut it for me. Not for its staging of Giselle, and certainly not for its phony drama between Baryshnikov and the girl, who I must admit is nicely played by Julie Kent. Take her out of the movie, and you have nothing.
Well, then in that case, you have nothing, because I don't think the girl is nicely played by Miss Kent. I think that it was a completely limp, colorless, uninteresting performance in an insipid and stupid role with a lot of really dumb dialogue, some of which we just heard. There is plotting in this movie that is appalling. For example, when they think she's throwing herself into the water and they find her wet jacket, but it turns out, no, she didn't jump into the water.
Right.
So who threw the jacket in? Who fished it out? Who cares? This movie is not about the ballet. It's not about the love story. It's like an ego trip for Baryshnikov, showing that he's still attractive to young girls, and I didn't believe that either.
Okay, well, the only thing that I was trying to say about Julie Kent is that when the camera is on her, I watch the movie. I think she captured... The movie is absolutely ridiculous. I want to be very clear about that.
Well, to that point, when the camera was on her, I watched the movie wishing that she were in a different movie. How's that?
All right, so do I.
Okay, next on Siskel and Ebert, Maurice, the story of three English homosexuals in the days before the First World War.
want tea! We want tea!
Our next movie is named Maurice, or Maurice as we would say it in America, but they say Maurice in England, where this movie comes from, with an impressive pedigree. It was directed by James Ivory. His previous film was the big hit A Room with a View, and it's based on a long-suppressed novel by E.M. Forster, the man who wrote A Passage to India, but forbid this story, Maurice, to be published during his lifetime. Well, if it had been, it would have been pretty controversial. It tells two romantic love stories from 75 years ago involving male homosexuals at a time when homosexuality was completely taboo in England. The film begins in Cambridge, where two undergraduates fall in love.
Durham, where did you get to?
I know you read those books in the back.
How do you mean?
You'll understand then, I don't have to explain.
Understand what?
That I love you.
There we see James Wilby and Hugh Grant as Maurice and Clive, who become lovers, but then Clive leaves Maurice and gets married, renouncing his homosexuality and preparing for a political career. And Maurice is expelled from Cambridge.
These past few weeks, it's become apparent to me that it's time a man was here to head this household again.
Yeah, well, it's all for the best. What do you want with a degree? They were never meant for the suburban classes. I mean, you're not going to become a parson or a barrister or a pedagogue when you're not a country gentleman. That's a sheer waste of time. The city is your place.
That's the boy's family doctor, played by Denham Elliott. As they grow slightly older, the two men continue to see each other, but Clive seeks to deny their love.
Clive.
Aren't you exhausted? Well, I've had meetings till midnight. I've got another this afternoon, but I'm back tonight, and then your visit really does begin.
Now, gentlemen,
we stand rebuked to the Olympic Games, Maurice.
Then the unthinkable happens. Maurice, the wealthy aristocrat, falls in love with Scudder, the rough gamekeeper on Clive's estate. After they make love, the rich man fears the poor one will blackmail him.
Are you ashamed to be seen with me? You're not glad anyway, don't say you are.
I'm glad.
Then why didn't you come to the boathouse? I waited 2 nights, I got no sleep waiting. I know something.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you could tell me a good many things, Alec.
I know about you and Mr. Durham.
And that's Rupert Graves as the gamekeeper. I had a couple of different reactions while I was watching Maurice. On the one hand, I enjoyed the whole look and tone of the movie, which captures England and those characters really well. On the other hand, I thought the film's view of homosexuality, or any sexuality, was very simple-minded. We're supposed to applaud because Maurice and the gamekeeper are brave enough to risk everything because of their love. But there is not a single moment in this movie to indicate that they have anything at all in common except for sexual passion. They have nothing really to say to one another, and so the movie seems to be arguing that a person's sexuality is the most important thing about him. Well, I don't believe that, but I do believe this is a great-looking, well-acted, civilized, interesting movie, and for that, I recommend it.
Well, Roger, I think we agree on the movie, except that I can't recommend it. I think that basically we have been through this material many, many times in other films, far more interesting films, and I was bored by it. Although as beautifully made, I mean, James Ivory makes beautiful films. He's, I think, incapable of doing otherwise, it seems. I just felt that this material was quite familiar and felt dated, and that there was nothing fresh added to it. I could admire it as a picture. I mean, as a
period piece. It's a period piece like A Room with a View.
But there I was surprised.
It recaptures a world that you don't often see in the movies, and that was interesting.
A Room with a View surprised me.
Oh, well, A Room with a View is a better movie.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Now, this one had no surprises, just had some good-looking shots. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed on this program. We were both disappointed in the comic love story Surrender with Michael Caine and Sally Field. Only the first half of the movie works, 2 thumbs down. And our only argument about the movie called House of Games is who liked it more. We both thought it was terrific, 2 thumbs up. As for Someone to Watch Over Me, the only interesting character is the one with the smallest role, the detective's wife, 2 thumbs down. And 2 more downturned thumbs for Dancers with Mikhail Baryshnikov. And finally, a split vote on Maurice, the drama about British homosexuals. I thought it was extremely well made, but the story wasn't fresh. Roger disagrees, sort of. He votes thumbs up.
So the one, obviously, that we agree on is House of Games, and I loved your line where you said this is like The Sting for adults, because there are so few movies these days that really do give you credit for any intelligence as you sit in the audience, and the pleasure of working out this plot along with the screenplay is amazing.
Well, I always enjoy, and it's not too often that I can enjoy watching characters that are smarter than I am, or even you. That's it for this week. Next week we'll be back with reviews of more new movies, including Weeds, starring Nick Nolte as a convict turned playwright, and Suspect, a romantic thriller starring Cher and Dennis Quaid. That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
Nestle Crunch. It's creamy milk chocolate and crispy crunchies. Chocolate is scrunchious when it crunches. That's why you'll love Nestle Crunch. AT&T long distance gift certificates. The gift that lets people stay close to faraway family and friends. Your Life Vitamin Packs. Daily vitamin systems with essential vitamins, minerals, and important nutrients. Your Life Vitamin Packs. The no guesswork vitamin system. Zip Guard Wood Stain. Will not chip, crack, craze, or peel. And Zip Strip. Non-flammable paint remover.